Welcome back to the Nottingham Forest Rebuild. Today, we are going to challenge for a Premier League title. Hopefully. That is going to be the aim. Now, I will say these rebuilds are done in 3-part mini-series now, so make sure you do subscribe and whack the bell on, purely because that way you'll never miss another episode. Now, if you did miss episode 1, we're going to do a little recap in part 2, but I would heavily recommend you go back and watch it, because it is a really good video, and it is going to lay down the foundation. But for those who just want to get into it from this part of the series, I'm going to do a quick recap. So, last year, we achieved our best ever Premier League finish in 2027, finishing in 5th place. The year before, we actually did finish in 8th place, so we are doing quite a good job at climbing up divisions. We currently are only in Season 2, so to have European football, I think is quite respectable. Also, in this year, or last year should I say, we actually did get to a European final, which we did lose sadly against, I believe it was Monaco. It was Monaco in 1-0 fashion. But when it comes to cups, we are very good at the FA Cup. We have won that in back-to-back years. For those that do care, to know a lot of my people are tactic viewers, we are using a custom-built Forest 433. And again, at any part of the video, you want to grab all of these Patreon perks. It will include this tactic, every game save file from different season points. That is every tactic I make in every rebuild, set pieces, training, ad-free viewing, the whole shebang. Make sure you go check out the Patreon by clicking the link in the description where there is 30% off. So this tactic is actually designed to be used for in and around the Forest players. That was the whole concept of it. So we're now about to go into Season 3, which is going to be technically the first season of this video. That's the recap complete in just over about a minute and a half, which isn't too bad in my opinion. So let's go into our first season and try and improve. And to be fair, again, limited money. Well, this is it. We signed no one because we had literally no money. So you can see I have made a significant effort to obviously loan out people. We had one player go on the free and Aaron Bott going to Casapia, but I had zero. Like, after contracts and everything was paid, I had nothing. So this rebuild is not going to be easy, guys. It's not going to be, oh, a nice little walk in the park. It's going to be quite challenging. So, yeah, sorry about that, but I literally had no money. So, what can I do? We have got nothing. I will say some signings, because I am trying to literally get the likes of, where is he in here? Stefan Ortega. I was trying to get money for him. I couldn't, but he went to Porto on loan at the age of 35. And he's joining there permanently. So, hopefully, we'll get a little bit of money. But let's see how we done with no additions. Well, I can't believe this, because we are in 3 back-to-back FA Cup finals, and this time, oh my wow, Southampton. We're playing Southampton, and we're already 1-0 up from an absolute gift. And it's a bit of a run and joke from episode 1, really, about how good we are in this competition. Another FA Cup win. 3 years played, 3 FA Cups. And I'm not joking. It is 3 years back-to-back. Now, the path to this final was challenging. Tottenham's not an easy game. Leeds is okay. Chelsea's not an easy game. Wrexham is a bit of an easier game. Bristol, it's not exactly tough, but I'm not going to complain. I mean, it's a trophy, but it's just bizarre how we are so good in this competition. Most goals, most clean sheets, a really strong performance. Again, for anyone tuning in this episode, James Trafford is being locked in. I'm playing a lot of these games myself. For the ones that I don't, I am locking him in by going on holiday and ticking the box of use current team selection, because I really want him to be my main goalkeeper. At the moment, he's playing okay. He's not developing incredible. He's not developing awfully. He's just doing okay. That's really all I can say. Data hub-wise, we look quite good, to be honest. I mean, the first time we've actually put it all together. Under a goal conceded, above 2 goals a game. Not too many shots, I will say, compared to some of the tactics and the rebuilds we have done together through this year. But that's the first time we've got over 2 goals a game scored and under a goal conceded. So that surely has to be a good thing. Surely. Well, let's go and see, because we finished 3rd in the Premier League, which is Very, very good. Champions League football, an improvement, and a big improvement. You know, Season 1, 8th. Season 2, 5th. Season 3, 3rd. Season 4, winners, right? Maybe not. Most likely not. But that being said, it is a really, really strong performance. Lorenzo Luca and James Trafford, again, really, really showing exactly how good they are. Now, someone like Luca is now going to be wanted by Villarreal, who we should be able to keep him. That's not the most tempting offer, I can't imagine. So I'm confident we can keep him. It's the players in and around him. We weren't far off second place, by the way, as Leeds, Birmingham and Middlesbrough are going to go down into the Sky Bet Championship. So Premier League, I'm happy. FA Cup, I'm happy. Have I got anything else to be happy about? Well, the Carabao Cup, Manchester United get defeated big time. 7-2 in that final. The semis we are not going to be in. The quarters we lose to Manchester United. Now, that is an improvement on last season, so it's not actually that horrific. In terms of the other trophies, we failed to win that Community Shield again. We lose 3-2 against a team that beat us last season. And the Champions League, I'm actually quite scared to look at. We're obviously not going to be in the final. Where did we get in? Okay, we done fantastic. Wins over Fenerbahce, Tel Aviv, Dynamo, Monaco, AZ, Lille and Inter. The only loss is going to be against Madrid, so a ridiculous performance. And we nearly went out in the round of 16. We win over Leipzig on penalties. The quarters, we blitz Chelsea 7-1. The semis, we lose to PSG 3-2. That is a very, very, very good effort. That is not embarrassing at all. A really, really good display. So, top 4 football, FA Cup winners, better improvement in the Carabao Cup, Community Shield's the same old story, semi-finals of the Champions League. I think that is very, very good. Now, I have got permission to get more staff, so we've actually got a lot of staff in here. So although it says vacant roles, we've got more than what we did have at the start. So I'm not too worried about the staffing situation. The club vision, of course, is going to change because we're doing things quite well now. So for next year, they want me to repair the club's financial damage. I mean, I'm not spending money. I didn't spend a penny last window, so that's down to them at the end of the day. The current season, they wanted me to be competitive, tick. Qualify for the Conference League, tick. Where's my contract? Because I want a contract. I'll say it how it is. I want a contract now. We've done a good enough job here. You know, the data hub's good. We're winning your trophies. We've got top 4 football. What have they given me to spend then in this financially broken club? Has pumped out over £60 million. £61 million to go and spend, which is definitely going to get spent because I need to invest into this club. Now, looking at the finances, we still have quite a fair bit of debt, but if I don't invest after a season where I didn't spend a single penny, we're going to have problems. We're going to have a lot of problems in this team. I'm not saying that the team is suffering as it currently stands because, I mean, the goals are coming from Lorenzo Luca, McNeely. 21-1. He's at Portsmouth. Okay, I'm going to calm down a little bit. He might not be able to do it in the Prem. But we have got a lot of players scoring goals other than Luca and Doy, Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs-White, Bakwa. Assist-wise, the same story is going to be that same case. So we have got players that are playing well. But let's not remember, guys, that, you know, the first window we had of this whole video, we didn't sign a single player. So I do want to go and spend a little bit of money to improve my chances. On top of that, we're in the Champions League again. There's a lot of games to try and manage. So let's get into another transfer window and continue this long-term Nottingham Forest rebuild because we are getting somewhere. So for £16 million, we are going to welcome in Kiergaard, a big player in the Red Bull Challenge, which you have not seen. Make sure you go onto this exact same channel and get involved in the Red Bull Challenge Let's Play, because we are winning every trophy with every Red Bull team, and this guy is the face of that so far. And I've picked him up based off that because he is really, really good. And now, I will say, he comes to the Premier League as a bit of a backup vibe, and he contributes 8 goals, which is okay. He's never going to impress me as much as what he does over in Austria, but he is a decent player to have. He's not exactly the most, you know, challenging player to get either. There wasn't exactly tons of clubs queuing up. So for the ease of getting him, it did play a bit of a factor. £21 million. We are also going to pick up former Salzburg man, Samson Badu. Of course, he went to Lens, and I've now poached him from Lens, and he is a really good centre-back. The one thing I looked at in our back line was younger centre-backs who have got a little bit of pace about them. Now, this guy is very, very good. He just can't really pass, which, no insult intended there. He's a rock-solid centre-back. He's got bags of pace, good jumping, good bravery, good heading, good marking, good tackling, good positioning, good work rate. He's great, but he's just not really a ball-playing defender. So definitely going to keep an eye on that and maybe tweak the tactic in and around Samson Badu. But the positive to this guy is he's still only 25. He was cheap. He's on very little money per week, and he can also play as a DM. Would I play him in DM? Probably not, because of the passing issue. But if there was, for example, a situation where my DM got sent off and he was on the bench, I could obviously make a substitute and change the team about, and he could play there for the last 20-30 minutes of a game. And I wouldn't really notice too much of an issue, maybe apart from the passing. And Tyler Dibbling is going to come in. Big money indeed. And he is a player that is Premier League proven. He picks up 21 goals and 24 assists. That is right, a staggering 45 goal contributions. Now, you know what you get with Tyler? You're getting a young English talent who is rapid, can cross, can dribble, can shoot, good bravery, good first touch, good passing, good technique. Good everything. He can play on the right, through the middle. You can easily train him to play on the left. This guy is almost the face I'm building the team around now. He is that step above your Amari Hutchinson. You know, he is the next generation of footballer is what I'm trying to achieve here. And someone like Tyler Dibbling had to be brought. As we make £5 million profit on Stefan Ortega, who went to Porto for one season and then retired. So we definitely cashed in at the right time. And speaking of cashing in, Ryan Medley to Fulham for 650k, Jean-Victor to Sao Paulo on the free, and a load of players on loan. But we do sell Michael Brown to Manchester United for £6.2 million, a player that simply would not get into our team. Now, we did spend big, £84 million to be exact, so money definitely has been spent. A load of players going out on loan again, as I do make a big effort to make sure we are making the most out of our younger players. Now, if we go and look at the squad, for example, right now, data hub-wise, we've done very similar to last year, I will say. What I want to show you is the under-21s and the under-18s. So the under-21s is very, very small at the moment because they're either getting sold or they're going into the under-18s or they're getting moved on, something like that. The under-18s, we've got a lot of players with a lot of value. Now, the question is, are they ready to play for me? No. But these players hold quite a good value. So considering we're in a club that is in a bit of financial stress, shall we say, this is my point here. If you're in that situation, look through your under-18s, through your under-21s, and sell. 15, 12, 10, 7, 7, 7. Even if you get half of every player here, it's money you wouldn't have had, and if they're not good enough to play in your team, offload them. Simple as that. Nothing personal. Just got to offload them. And once again, we have improved. And once again, it's the two players you'd expect. Lorenzo Luca and James Trafford putting in the work. And we were 1 point off winning the Premier League. We were tied on points with Liverpool. It was a very, very, very stressful season. Now, I will say, it's been such a big improvement from 8th to 5th. To 3rd to 2nd. It is a nice, consistent growth every single season. We are doing a great job of that. So I am proud of the lads. They're doing a great job. As I think I saw, Stoke, they're going down, but they made it to the Premier League. Stoke, Everton and Wolves are going to go down. Now, quite clearly, the goal scoring side, we're very good at. If we actually go and look at the goals being scored, we'll go and actually have a look at the attack. We are scoring more than Liverpool, City, Villa, Chelsea, Tottenham, United. You know, we're scoring a lot of goals. 2.13 a match. You know, we are doing a very, very good job. Defensively, I think there is room for improvement, but the fact that we're improving every single season, I'm not going to be put off by it. I don't think we're doing an awful job. Now, sadly, it is our first trophyless season because the FA Cup, we don't even get to the final, which feels criminal by our standards. We don't get to the semis or the quarters. we lose to Bournemouth in the 5th round. So that is very unlike this Forest team. The Carabao Cup, we get to the final and we lose against City, and I'll be the guy to say it, are the possession. 69% possession, being managed by Vincent Kompany. Now that is interesting, because that could happen in real life. Yeah, they deserve to win that. The possession, it's enough for me to say, do you know what? Hands up. You take the trophy. Defensively, though, we were great in that competition. The Community Shield, we can't win. We can't get to terms with it. That is now 3 years we have lost against Liverpool. It is very frustrating. Look at that. 3 years. Very, very, very frustrating. That is the case, because I would have liked to have won one of them. The Champions League, finalists. Yeah, we've improved from last year. And last year was a semi-final, and we've actually improved. And again, all off our defensive record. Now, we do lose against PSG in that final. To get to the final is magnificent. We got past Tottenham in the semis. We actually got past Chelsea in the quarters, taking down all the London clubs. The round of 16, Monaco, 8-2. The league phase, not as good, but still very good. Only losing 2 of the 6 games. So, yeah, we've improved in the Prem and the UCL. That is big. The English Cup's obviously not as well, but to improve in the Prem and the UCL, I can happily take. I'll happily take that more than anything. A very, very, very good performance. Now, at the end of the day, this game is always going to haunt you because, you know, you're losing the Champions League final. But it's PSG. By the way, Saka, Haaland, Dembele, Tonali. Do they need anyone else? That team is a joke, being managed by Pep Guardiola. There's an absolute shift up in the managers, isn't there, who is wanted by Arsenal. There is an absolute madness going on in this save. As always, make sure you go over to the Patreon, get the tactic in the save file, because this might be one of the more crazy ways I've seen a Premier League table actually go in terms of managers going everywhere and all sorts going on. It is genuinely quite a mental sight to see. Now, in terms of the squad, we discussed the data hub, how the players actually performed. Well, what you'd expect. Luca, Dibbling, Hudson-Odoi, it's their show. They're putting on the real show here. Now, in terms of money, we are going to have a budget of around a very similar amount, I believe, maybe a little bit more than £68 million. We are going to have a budget of 84 million, and I am going to go and spend it because we are in a good window now. We're improving in the Premier League. If you're a betting man, you would probably follow the pattern of the Premier League rise and say we would win it next year. Same with the Champions League. Semi-final. Winning the final is up next, potentially. That's going to be where my head goes to, but we've got to spend right first. Well, we are going to sell a little bit more youth, 6.7 million. We are going to wave goodbye to Blackbrine, a player who does look actually very, very good, but because of the amount of talent we have got on the wing, would not get into the team. So to get that sort of money for a player that would have just been rotten away in the under-21s, I decided to cash in. And Luke Fisher, nearly £10 million for this guy. He goes to Chelsea again, simply will not get into the team. We're more than covered in that position. And therefore, out of 2 youngsters, we've raised close to £17 million. That is why I always say, make sure you look at your youngsters, not only to use them and loan them out and develop them, but even if it is to do what I've done, loan them, to develop them, to sell them. There's money to be made, people. There's always money to be made. And it's a good job we did, because we spent £38.5 million on Evan Ferguson, another striker, 40 goals in his first season, 24 in the Premier League, and this guy looked too good to pass up on. I mean, he is rapid, he's got 15 finishing, good composure, good heading. He is a typical striker that will suit this team. He's big, he's strong, he can finish, and this guy has the pace as well. So he has given us that element that we didn't have in the past. We've got everything else. The strength, the brutality, the goal scoring, hopefully record, which so far he is living up to. But now we've got pace to use as well. It's another tool in this locker, which I think will come in handy. And for £24 million, we welcome in Honest Anahor, a player coming in from Manchester United who looks very, very, very good at left back. He can dribble, he can cross, he can tackle, handy for a defender, good passing, he's quick, decent work rate, decent stamina, good strength. By far, our best left back. So we've spent quite big, but quite importantly, in my opinion, £62 million. You can see compared to last season, of course it's better because we spent nothing in the last window. The board are happy, supporters are happy. A+, I mean, that is good from the board. We are doing a pretty decent job. So yeah, it was no surprise really that when we actually look at this team on paper, we nearly won the Premier League. We took it to them again. Sadly, the badges look so similar, don't they, from a sort of long distance away. I thought we actually won it to start with. 2 points away. So last year, it was a point. This year, it was 2 points. It does feel like we're going through our bit of a Silver Surfer moment, to be honest with you. Now, in terms of stats, Liverpool are going to control the most goals. I think they were actually the dominant team, to be honest with you. They had a great season. I've got to, take my hat off and say fair play. It's not nice to finish runners-up 2 years back-to-back because the dream would be to go from, 8th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st, but now it's 8th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd and 2nd. I guess you can also argue, Josh, you're being consistent. You're always in and around that title battle, which I should be happy with. I am fully aware. But sometimes you always want a little bit more. So hopefully we have won something else. And we are going back to where we belong, that being the FA Cup. I mean, honestly, we might be one of the most consistent teams in this competition. We make it to another final, and you know what happens when we get to a final in this competition. We do win it. I won't ruin the scoreline, but we do win it, and it's to be expected because we are just so good in this competition. I don't quite understand why. I'm not sat here putting all my resources into FA Cup wins. We just seem to come alive, and I mean, that link-up, Dibbling to Ferguson, looks electric. Now, is this expected? Well, we are runners-up in the Premier League, so, we're not exactly a small team. We're a pretty decent level team, and the likes of Dibbling, the likes of Ferguson, are absolutely running rampant here. I mean, the composure, the arrogance to cut in there and actually have a shot is incredible from Tyler Dibbling, and it just carries on. Another good set piece there into Gibbs White, little touch, little cut back into Yates, good into the right back here, back into Tyler Dibbling. Oh, wow. Yeah, Tyler Dibbling might be him. Now, the Carabao Cup, we nearly won as well, so it would have been a chance to win both English Cups in the same season, which would have been nice, and we actually lost it on penalties, as it is going to be Williams and Ndoye who are going to be missing their penalties, which is quite frustrating, to be honest with you. It was a game that I would say, in fact, we definitely deserved to win. Manchester United being managed by Conte, just to let you know. Again, this is by far one of the strangest saves I've seen for manager shift-ups. They are moving all around the place. Now, the Champions League, we don't win. We don't get into the final. But we do get into the semis. How crazy is that? Ever since we have been playing the Champions League, at bare minimum, we have been in the semi-final. That is a stat line. Now, this team on paper has changed so much from episode 1. Look at the first team in episode 1, and now look at this. Trafford, Savona, Beidou, Murillo, Anahor, Sangare, Kiergaard, Gibbs White, Dibbling, Hudson-Odoi, Ferguson. Lots of goals coming out from Ferguson up top. Good performance all round from the lads, really. James Trafford is really worrying me because I don't know if he is good enough to be what I need. And I really wanted him to be. I like the story of him going back to a club where he's a star goalkeeper. I just don't know if he has got what it takes. I look at this, the data hub, for example. It's good, but we can improve it. And I do wonder if he is part of the issue when it comes to shot stopping and things like that. Our attack are doing a great job. But realistically, if we go into our budgets right now, we are going to have enough money to go and secure a goalkeeper. I have clicked on this about 3 times, which is quite interesting. Make that 4 times now. There we go. Eventually it will work. We have got £73 million to go and spend. I think it might be time for Trafford to get replaced. He can still play some games, but there's got to be younger goalkeepers that are a little bit better. I also might try and bring in a couple more young midfield players because Sangare, Gibbs White, 32 and 30. Our attack is still quite young apart from Hudson-Odoi. There is room to improve this team, though. Now, so far, I'm actually quite happy. And when I said in episode 2, we're going on a title charge, you can't get much more of a title charge than this. Apart from winning it, we are quite literally breathing down their neck. We are literally there. You know, City last season, Liverpool this season, we're right in and around the mix. And I mean, we're not playing bad football at all. If we look at the fixtures, it's not like there's a load of red in here. I mean, look at that. That is quite literally months, really, apart from this game here, without losing a game. Of course, that is against Liverpool, who went on to win the league. Of course it is. But how did that game even go? I mean, same shots, more possession. Yeah. I mean, they deserved, didn't they? I need to stop being bitter. They did deserve to win it, but let's get into the next transfer window. I mean, we're not far off winning this. We're on the chase. Well, we have done another bit of business and sold another youngster for about £7 million in Stephen Matthews, another player which we simply would not have used. So far, we must be getting on for about £30 million generated from young players. So again, I'll say it, make sure you're doing this if you need money. £9.2 million, we pick up Martinelli. No, not the winger who's been forgotten by Arsenal. The goalkeeper. And it's another gamble because it's a bit of a young goalkeeper, but he instantly jumps in to our first team over Trafford. Now, you know what I think of Trafford? I feel quite bad for doing it because what happened to him in real life, I have now done. I have become Pep Guardiola. But at some point, at least I give him a chance. That's what I will say. At least I give him a chance. Sullivan, £22.5 million, looks absolutely incredible. Honestly, didn't feel like it. 4 goals and 7 assists makes up for a pretty mediocre return. I have got to bear in mind that he is one for the future. We have got a couple of pre-built stars in midfield, safe to say. So I can't be too critical, but I was expecting just a little bit more. You look at the player, you've got an absolute gem, but I guess there's a bit of competition for him. And for £31 million, Boris Mamzua Lum is going to come in, and he does not play a single game starting-wise, which is quite disappointing. Actually, yes, he does. I'm being completely blind. I was looking at goals. He plays a lot of games. I am apparently blind. He plays a lot of games, actually. 12 in the Champions League, 37 in the Prem. He doesn't do anything apart from pick up an assist. Now, I don't mind, because he was brought in to be a deep player. But that's even still quite strange, because usually they chip in. But he drops a 6.65. I won't say he's dropped a masterclass, but it's not also horrific. He stayed fit. He's got good game time under his belt. It could have gone a lot worse. And we're flipping the script. The FA Cup, we don't know yet, but the Carabao Cup, we have won 3-1 over Chelsea in added time. It is a collapse. We equalised in the 90th minute. Lorenzo Luca and then Samson Beidou is going to be a Allegri-managed Chelsea 3-1. What's going on with the managers? The Community Shield we have won. Thank the Lord. Finally, we have beaten Liverpool in a game which we actually did deserve to win. Apart from the possession, we take down Liverpool. Finally. The Champions League, we are not going to be in the final. Are we going to maintain our streak? We are not. The quarters. So that is our worst season ever in the Champions League, which sounds very critical, but it is the reality. We have been in the semi-final of every single competition. Now, where does that leave us in the FA Cup? Well, since we're putting more effort into the rebuilds, we're having a bit of fun, we're going to play our first ever rebuild final live. The FA Cup. Let's cue the action. Right then, here we go. It is going to be Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle. A big game in the FA Cup. We have won this trophy just a few times before, but I thought, do you know what? Since we're doing the rebuilds a little bit differently now, you can see the handshake there coming in. No love between them two managers, as we are going to get in right away, and hopefully we can take the game to them. Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. Here we go. They've lined up in a very negative, don't like that at all, that is very negative. Shaw, Malik, they've got a very good back three. Botman, they've got a very good team. They've got Emery in midfield. They've got Kone. They've got a fantastic lineup. Rofe at left back as well. Emery down the left-hand side. A good clearance there. Botman is going to recover it, though. Into Schlotterbeck, they've also signed. Into Sewell, and it's a good effort just over the bar. But so far, we are going to hold on. That is a negative formation, though. And we've had no possession. Like, no possession, but we have had more shots on target. So, I'm just going to sit in and see what happens. I mean, they're playing a very negative formation, apart from the fact they are using advanced wingbacks, to be fair, so they are doing something, but they might be a little bit hard to break down. He must be offside. That looked way too easy. It's going to carry on into Ferguson, back into Hudson-Odoi. This is really good play down the left. Ferguson, good collection. This is going to be, I think, quite a low-scoring game. Based off the way that they're playing, a mistake, maybe it's a mistake, and Evan Ferguson is going to get it. The press on the goalkeeper has come in, and we're 1-0 up in 20 minutes. I mean, maybe it won't be a low-scoring game. Are we going to force a change out of this formation? What a bizarre goal. As another highlight is going to come into play, and that is going to be a set piece. Should be a booking as well. Now, I have got my set pieces loaded. Are they going to pay out? I thought it went in. It's a whisker away, quite literally, from Dibbling. A very, very good effort. But Newcastle have not changed a single thing. They're still playing in their same formation. So they're really trusting their system. But so far, we are looking very, very, very good in this game. At the moment, we're looking more than likely to win it without having basically any of the ball. Another highlight coming in. A set piece. Dibbling. Little ball in. Back stick. Bit of a dodgy collection, actually. Gibbs White down the left-hand side. Back into Murillo. Nothing silly. Good ball in. Back stick. Out of the bar! It's a great collection, and now Newcastle might actually try and counter. They are going to try and counter. It's a good pass here. Vault made into Sil, over the top, back into Voltmard. Plenty of space, nothing comes of it, and I think we might be headed. We're not headed into added time. Half time, sorry about that. I don't know why the game is also quite buggy. I do apologise about that. Really unsure to why, because my PC is more than capable of running Football Manager, so if anyone knows, let me know, as we hopefully can go in with an advantage at half time. Yeah, that was shocking. That was abysmal. So a highlight 15 seconds before half time, and they've got a set piece, and it goes in, and they're going to have it on the edge. Good interception. Sullivan, who I did slate, that's going to be half number one done. Right. I think we're in a good place here. I'm not going to make any subs, so I'm going to address the team. Hopefully, they can stay motivated and we can get this job done. So it's been a little bit dead in this half, to be honest. We are slowly going to make some subs, I think. In around about the 70th minute, we're going to bring on some good fresh legs, just in case we do get pushed into, added time, or even just for the 20 minutes that we've got to play. I want to have a little bit of, fresh legs, bit of momentum, hopefully. And we've got a lot of good substitutes. So we're going to make the changes now, as the game does quiet down. That does not look good. Okay, I was nervous then. I was very nervous. I thought the game may have crashed. So we are going to get Luca on. We are also going to get the likes of Kiergaard on. And I think that might be it, to be honest. In fact, I don't really want to... No, I can't take Ferguson off. He's been so good. I might get Bakwar on. I'm going to get Bakwar on the left-hand side. And I'm also going to get Sangare on in midfield in DM. And that hopefully, in fact, we'll get this guy in as our new DM, isn't he? A bit more energy in the team. Hopefully, that can see us over the line. Because although it's not been an entertaining game, we've not even been that good, to be honest. They haven't either. So we may get past this final based off being the better of the bad. But a highlight. The right back has the ball, a little throw in. This is more like it. This is what I want to be seeing. Good passing play. We've got the quality in the team now, and we can add to an array of FA Cup wins here. Dibbling down the right-hand side, little cut in, and that is more like it. We kept Ferguson on, and it's paid off. 2-0, surely the job done. Well, as we sit back and we defend this lead with one more highlight most likely coming in, maybe another goal, Ferguson is on a hat-trick. One more goal, and he will have a final hat-trick, and hopefully that is what we're about to see. Ferguson, no, he's past it. He should have remained selfish, but we have played not at our best, but sometimes these games are where you show a bit of character, and that was very, very good from Sul, to be fair to him, but we've not conceded, and we still have got this clean sheet at the moment. Ferguson has been so good individually this game. Now, we've got to credit Dibbling, who's been pretty much the man in and around him all the time. And as a team, we have got the job done. Maybe. It's still alive. I mean, the game catches me off guard every single time. They have got time to have this set piece. Ball in. Nothing comes of it. It should be full time. The goal's going to stand, but that should be the game. That has got to be the game. No more other highlights. That would be ridiculous. That should be it. That is going to be it. And we are going to be FA Cup winners. Well done, SI. It looks beautiful. It looks fantastic, but yeah, we have won the FA Cup. What is that? We have won the FA Cup. This bit's nice. We'll watch the trophy lift in lovely, non-laggy gameplay. And yeah, that is going to be the end of episode 2. So welcome to the finale of the Nottingham Forest rebuild. Today, we are going to seriously chase that Premier League and Champions League title. We're going to do a quick recap now over what's happened in the last episode. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe and whack that sub bell on, because we now have got a seriously long Red Bull challenge going on that you need to go and check out, and every rebuild is now going to be a mini story. So if you like that theme, make sure you lock in. Let's get into it. So for those that wonder, this is what it's looking like at Forest. 2031, we're like 6 seasons deep, and this is our team. Ferguson, Hudson-Odoi, Dibbling, Sullivan, Gibbs-White, Yates, Anahor, Murillo, Beidou, Savona, and also Martinelli in goal. We have had a mixture of emotion when it comes to success. One thing that we are very good in is going to be the FA Cup. We have won it 3 years, in fact more than 3 years. We have actually won it 4 times in 6 years. We have been incredible in that competition. The Premier League, we are hunting down with everything we have got. If we go back right to the start, we have finished in 8th place, then 5th, then 3rd. We then go on a run of 2 years going back to back, and then the last season we finished in 6th place. We have also been quite strong in the Champions League. We have got to a final and also to a semi-final. The club is looking very, very good. We're doing a great job so far, but we are chasing down the Premier League and the UCL. We are now going to go into season number 7 and give it everything we have got. Now, there is no sort of end goal to this. Today's going to be the finale. If we win it, we win it. If we don't, I have failed. There is no guarantee. So please do, if you do enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, if you want to grab all of these Patreon perks and carry on this save file, you can come on over and get all the tactics, all the save files, set pieces, training, ad-free viewing, all of that good stuff. And the great thing about it now is you can pick up from different save points. We're putting on individual season save points, so you can take over at your personal favourite part of the rebuild. And this 30% off. Let's get into season 7, where we actually have got a budget of around about, hopefully a bit more than £11 million. It's been a few days since I've actually loaded up this save. Yeah, we're broke. We're brassic. Well, that budget had not updated because we actually had about 120 million. And the first player we pick up is going to be Lennart Kull. Now, he is going to be a player of 24 years of age, so a pretty young player, a player for the future. However, this player has come in and contributed 42 goals. Now, when I say a young player, this guy is still very, very good, you know. He's not a young player in sense of he needs time to go out on loan. This guy is ready for the Premier League, but a super addition to this team. We have got a lot of younger players in this side now, and we are doing a really good job of sort of preparing for the future, just because you guys that carry it on the Patreon, I'd like to have you covered. And also, I don't know how long I'm going to be here for, so I don't want to sign 2 older people because we might be here for another 10 years. I really don't know. Yan Diomande is going to come in for £41.5 million. Again, 25 years of age, 24 when I signed him. Another bit of strengthening on the wing and 29 goal contributions. So you look at the team on paper now, we are looking absolutely incredible. This guy offers really good dribbling, fantastic pace and acceleration. And I'm starting to look at this Nottingham Forest project as almost a complete team. I really am. And I've had so much fun breaking up the rebuilds over a few videos, purely because it gives me a lot more time to put time into the actual save. Instead of, you know, just signing any player, I researched them. Can they get game time? How much are they going to impact? And that's why a lot of these signings we're making, they're not only coming in and doing okay, they're doing exceptional. As the last signing of the window is going to be Claude for £34.5 million. Again, young player, 22 years of age. Now, this player wasn't actually instantly ready, so I brought him to loan out. He goes to Wrexham, does okay, not brilliantly, he does okay. I look at this player, the pace is there. The dribbling and crossing is there. I only really want him to improve on the passing and tackling. But he's 22. He's young. He can play left back and right back. If you're a long-term viewer of this channel, you know that I love players that can play right back and left back, or players that can play DM and CM. I like versatile players. And this guy, he ticks every single box that I'd be after. So, although he didn't play for us in this season, he will be a big feature. And goal scoring wise, we are really there. You know, Evan Ferguson, 43 and 6. Carl, the new man, 30 and 12. Diamande, the new man, 19 and 10. Gibbs White with 23. Dibbling, 8 and 23. We will never forget Tyler Dibbling. He is a fantastic player. Kiergaard doing okay as well. Sullivan doing pretty decent. You know, we have got 4 players scoring 10 plus goals here. A really, really, really strong performance. And it's not really the goal scoring side where I think we've actually struggled. It's more of the defensive side. So I am, you know, putting a lot of eggs in the basket of goals, 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 goals. But hopefully that will work out. And I mean, in terms of age, yes, we have got a few older players. But you look at the younger players, we have got a lot of top players here that are nowhere near 30. I say nowhere near, 27, 28, you know. We're not cooked, is what I'm trying to say. We have built this team around a bit of experience, but now these windows that are coming in, we are going down more of a youthful path. And it's a hard one to read this season because it's quite literally a double. So, goals per game 2, conceded 1, double. It's an interesting one because to me, that doesn't look like that's enough to win a Premier League, but I've seen crazier situations. Well, scrap crazy situations because we are not going to win the Premier League. It is going to go into the hands of Manchester United, and to put it quite bluntly, we are miles off the pace, which is very, very annoying. Congratulations to Manchester United. Now, it's a big improvement from 6th place, it has to be said. We have got Champions League football again, which is at least something to brag about, but yeah, it's not ideal. What could be ideal, though, is a Europa League win, and we are in the Europa League final against Feyenoord, a team that I feel like we can beat if we get off to a decent start, and the way we're playing football is looking very good, from Tyler Dibbling down the left-hand side, into Gibbs White, out wide into Milinkovic, a good bit of play there, but unfortunately the final pass didn't quite make it, but we've got another roll of the dice here, back stick, a bad ball in. I will say we're doing so well until that final ball, a bit of luck, on the edge, Gibbs White makes it 1-0, and we're not playing our best when it comes to the final third so far in this game, but eventually you put enough pressure on and you will get there. Now, we're deep into the second half at this point again, and we are playing some pretty good football. That is an awful goal for Feyenoord to go and concede, that is. And truth be told, that was the nail in the coffin. They then were nowhere near where they were in the first half, for example, and we actually go on to win this Europa League final 3-0. So we are going to be European champions. It's definitely a confidence boost, and Carl, he's looking good. As the Carabao Cup, we are going to go back-to-back in, this time over Tottenham. So we are looking quite good, to be honest with you. A lot better than maybe what I thought. Now, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup are funny ones, aren't they? Because they're not massive trophies, but also they are quite nice to win. And we're definitely winning a lot of them. The Carabao Cup, the FA Cup we don't win this year, and the Community Shield we don't win. So it is just going to be the 2 trophies coming in. Now, the request to build a new stadium is still sort of being stalled. I really do want a new ground for the fans. In terms of money, we can go and look at the finances and sort of see what we've got. We've got £126 million to go and spend in the transfer window, and it has to be on defenders as long as they're on the market. There seems to be a bit of a lack of defenders at the moment that I can really go after. The staff is really under control now, by the way. Only 2 vacant roles across the whole board. We've got 36 coaches, 41 people in recruitment. Do your job. Find me some players, because we need to seriously get back to being, at bare minimum, that title contender in 2nd place, pushing the limits every single season. This season, if you take away the Europa League, it goes from being quite a good season to quite a disappointment, to be honest. Well, we have signed Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. £39.5 million. We have got Junior Ronaldo. Now, he comes in, he is a squad player, which feels a little bit criminal because, you know, it is Ronaldo Jr., but he doesn't actually get into the first team yet. But I saw the name. I must admit, I got tempted by the name. I had to sign him. I have never signed him in a Football Manager, and he looks really good. 9 goal contributions, rapid on the ball, good flair, good off the ball work, decent dribbling, good finishing, good composure, 22 years of age. Can he become Ronaldo? Can he become the Ronaldo? I don't know. Now, the good thing is, as backwards as this sounds, I'm quite happy if we don't win it all in this season, because I want to see how this guy sort of develops. Now, in the first season, he done all right, so I'm not going to hype him up too much, but it is Ronaldo Jr. £40 million, we welcome in Nick Otto, another right back, and another absolute key player. 22 years of age. We have got endless young products in this team right now, and this guy picks up 8 assists in his first season, dropping a 7.09, and truth be told, he is the complete package, bar the tackling. You can improve that tackling a little bit over time, get it to 12, 13. You've got one of the best right backs I've ever probably seen. Rapid on the ball, good stamina, good crossing, good dribbling, good passing, good technique, good teamwork, good concentration, good decisions, good anticipation. He is just a good all-round right back, and for £40 million, and for that amount of money per week, there's very little you can hate. And then we go left back mad and pick up an FM legend this year in Saba Karabashvili. Now, he's got a bid from Inter Milan, and he might go. So I'm going to appreciate him when I've got him. He is by far one of the best left backs in this year's game. And wing back wise, I am now super confident, like 10 out of 10 confident with our wing backs. They are incredible, and they're both young. 22 and 24. We're building a team that's ready to take on football for the next 7-8 years. We really, really are. We've got a very strong team, and I do think this window might be the breaking window where we either get to another Champions League final, we finish second, or win the Premier League. I look at the team on paper, and I don't understand how that's not the reality. I mean, look at the team on paper. Martinelli, Otto, Beidou, Murillo, Karabashvili, Sangare, Gibbs-White, Sullivan, Diamande, Ferguson, Dibbling. I mean, is that even the best team on paper? Kiergaard gets in right away. You know, we have got loads of good players, and Ferguson, Diamande, Dibbling, Kiergaard, Gibbs-White, all chipping in with ridiculous numbers. This team is very close to winning it big. I know it's very close. Surely this is the season. And it is the season. We have won the Premier League by 10 points, and it is thanks to Evan Ferguson, Carl. It's thanks to everyone. Let's not name individuals. I've just seen Norwich City are interested in Gyökeres, by the way. That is a storyline. We are ridiculously good. I will say that. Now, I was going to, call it a day here when we win the Premier League. Oh, no. No. We're winning the Champions League. I can't end it. And that is why these multiple part rebuilds are so good, because I actually get really invested in the save. And after winning the Premier League for the first time in 8 years, I am going after the entire lot. So that is one challenge done of many. The UCL is where we go to next, right away. For the first time, we actually are going to win the Super Cup, a 2-0 win over FC Porto, in a game which, to be honest, was relatively close, and some people may actually argue they should have won. More possession, equal amount of shots really, a very, very good team, but on the day, we were just too good. Which is a little bit more than what we can say in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Champions League. Now, I'm not too fussed about the FA Cup and Carabao Cup because we've won them a lot of times, and to be honest with you, I just don't really care about it too much anymore. We've won them so many times, especially the FA Cup. The Champions League, where did we get to? We had the most clean sheets. We don't get to the semis. We get beaten on penalties against PSG. So it's not an awful run. The league phase, we do very good. We match PSG. We only lose one game, actually, against Barcelona. We don't do awful at all in the Champions League, but that is the aim now, is to win that Champions League. Now, if we look at the board vision, this has changed massively. If you compare this to the first expectation, it was like, just stay in the Premier League, basically. Now, if we look at what they want me to reach the latter stages of the Champions League, record a Premier League top half finish. Okay, that's not too bad, actually. Challenge for the Premier League title. Fair enough. Win the Premier League, and then my contract is coming up for expiry, so we must impress. Although, if they sack me after winning a Premier League, they are absolutely bonkers. Now, in terms of money, I will say things are looking quite good. Another really big budget to spend. Our debts and loans are looking very good. Zero debt to spend. Our stadium has gone up to immaculate. Maybe that new stadium has come in. We are looking very, very good. The coaching looking sensational. The team is looking incredible. Data hub wise, again, I have seen better data hubs, but that was enough. That was enough to win a Premier League title. So we're going to get into the next season, go on to the hunt. We're not going to really pay too much. We got to a final, to be fair, but this trophy I'm not going to pay too much attention to anymore because we have won it. We've won it 5 times, so I feel like we've celebrated that enough, and the same is going to be said for the Carabao Cup. We have won that, I think, twice, runners-up twice. You know, they're fun to win a couple of times. Any more are sort of like, do I actually need it? So probably not. So let's get into the next season, see what we can do. Again, we can't question the budgets. They've been super generous with the budgets. They can clearly buy into the vision, and that's what I like. If you are enjoying so far, by the way, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hype up the video as we now extend this challenge to win the UCL. Well, Arsenal fans, I'm sorry, but I've just brought one of your youngsters for 100 million. I've gone a little bit mad. Now I've won a Premier League, I'm justifying £95 million on one player. Max Dowman is going to come in, and you know what? I don't regret it. 38 goal contributions, 13 and 9 in the Prem, 6 and 8 in the UCL. He is a world-class player at the age of 24. The finishing, the dribbling, the crossing, the first touch, the passing, the technique, the off-the-ball work. He can play in a variety of roles. He's English, great for registration. He's worth over £200 million now. I think, although it's a ridiculous amount of money to pay on one player, we are now a Premier League winning team. Now, with money comes pressure. And this pressure means, for me, after this window, I have to at least win another Premier League or win that UCL. Anything less, I can't sit here and be proud of what we have done. When you spend big, you expect big. It's always a bit of a toxic thing in football. It affects a lot of players. But sadly, it's the reality. As we also spend 68 million on Fernandes. Now, he again is a really, really good player. 40 goal contributions, and truth be told, if you want my honest opinion, I don't know how we would have not have won the Premier League based off these two individuals. So let's go and check it out. Like I said, the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, we're not too fussed about now. The really one that, the one that I really care about is that UCL, but that is going to take a little bit of chasing. Let's go and see what we've done in the Prem in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'll take it. So we have won the Prem and the FA Cup again, just to show you a 1-0 win over Brighton in extra time. We're not too fussed about that. We'll look at the Champions League first, actually. So most goals, Ferguson and Dowman doing quite a good job there. Where did we get to? Not the semis. The quarters again, and we lose against Liverpool, who obviously lost in that final. The league phase again is ridiculously strong. We blew Hoffenheim out the water, expected, and then obviously this was a little bit too tough. So still a little bit to do in the Champions League, to be honest. The Community Shield, we do lose on penalties to Tottenham Hotspur. The Carabao Cup, we don't get into the final. We actually are going to lose in the... Oh, wow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay, we'll move on from that quite quickly. We'll go back to the positives. The Premier League, a much closer season from 10 points to 3 points. Man City really, really turning up the gas. So it is going to be back-to-back Premier League titles, which is really good for money, I will say, and also the board being hopefully happy with me. You can see there, Liverpool also had the one up on us in the last game of the season there. So that would have been one of our losses easily. Did we lose against them twice? We did. Liverpool are really the only team that we are struggling against directly, so that's quite an interesting concept. Now, the data hub is slowly improving. The goals are going up. The conceded is always around about 0.8 to 1.2. So that might be a tactic thing, to be honest with you. It's no secret that this tactic I've made is brand new for this exact rebuild. So it's not perfect. We are trying to tweak it. Age-wise, we have got a few players that are coming towards their peak now, like Ferguson, for example, like Dibbling, like Diamande. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. had a decent season, 18 goal contributions, and we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with 15 plus goals. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with 10 plus assists. This team, in terms of going forwards, is as good as it gets, and truth be told, I don't know exactly where it's going wrong in the Champions League. You know, goal scoring wise, we're looking brilliant. If we go and look at some of these stats, if we go and look at the defending side, obviously goals conceded, we can, why is that reset? This is very, very confusing, sorry. Expected goals against, we are quite down there. Clean sheets is what I want. So we are ranked 7th place with Copenhagen, Liverpool, Leverkusen and Sporting. So defensively, we aren't looking the best in the Champions League. The Premier League, we're sort of getting the job done. The fouls made, we are very high up in 2nd place. That is a stat you don't want to have, but we are doing it. Are we conceding a lot from direct free kicks? Not, well, 2nd place. Tied with pretty much everyone, you know, not anything really there. To be honest with you, this is where we need to improve a little bit, is the defensive side of the game. And I don't think it's through lack of players. I think we're doing quite a good job. I mean, if you look at this right here, we are winning so many of these games, but even though we're winning, we're conceding quite a fair few goals. So it is the back line that, in my opinion, does need to be improved. So we'll get into another window. We had a big budget, didn't we? I think we've got quite a big budget. 119 million. The finances are looking brilliant now, by the way. So let's get into what I believe is season 10 and really try and send it into that Champions League final. At bare minimum, I just want to play a UCL final. Well, for 65 million, we are definitely in regen era. We are going to pick up Jason Carey, another winger, and this is more of a different winger. He was brought in not to score, but to assist, because the guy's nearly got 20 dribbling and not nearly 20 crossing, but 16 crossing. He has nearly got 20 dribbling. He is rapid, and he picks up 33 assists. Now, he scored 15 goals as well. I'm not going to care about that, however impressive it is. He is here to be a creator. And I want different players in my team. One player that can be all about non-selfish football, putting the ball in, going up and down, up and down, up and down. He's got the stamina, he's got the pace. And then I want my selfish wingers. And it's handy to have a mixture of profiles, because you can look to your bench and be like, okay, you take on everyone, you cut in, you have a shot. You come on, you cross. You know, you need that mixture of players. So that is why I was so open to spending that sort of money. As we are going to welcome in Small for not a small transfer fee. He was £50 million. A really good centre-back, 16 heading, great tackling, good marking, good passing. Your typical ball-playing centre-back who does really, really well. Now, we are in a position with Forest, where technically we're winning the Premier League title every season at the moment, so we are getting very, very good budgets. And although a lot of people don't agree with spending a lot of money per season, we're in a position where we're winning the Premier League every single year. We're given the money, and we're going to invest it into the club, because we have got a lot of older players that are towards the end, if not calling it a day this year. So this team does need that youthful influence, and the team on paper, after a decade, looks like this. So, this is the team on paper after a decade. Martinelli, Otto, Beidou, Small, Karabashvili, that is Lum. We've got Fernandez, Dauman, Carey, Dibbling, and Ferguson. A complete revamp, but please look at this. 61 and 12, 26 and 29, 25 and 15, 21 and 31, 16 and 12, 15 and 33. This team is nuts. The team is crazy. Evan Ferguson is looking like an absolute monster. And I will give, where is he? Dibbling. I mean, this guy, he's come in, he's played so many years for us, and he has never had a bad season. He has been such a good player. And I look at this team on paper, and I just want to say, number one, if we don't win the Prem, I'm clueless. I don't know what has happened. The Champions League, we must only be a few years away. The team is looking incredible. The bench is looking incredible. It's looking like such a good team. 16 and 16 for Diamande off the bench. We're ready for top success. We are ready for this. And we are ready for it. Another Premier League win, 97 points in the season, and it is looking pretty good. I mean, it's now 3 years back-to-back. We're looking just like an absolute English powerhouse. Top goal scorers again, and truth be told, it's exactly what you expect, you know. I think whatever happens, I am going to call it a day after managing this club for a decade. It's a nice sort of ending point. Managing a club for 10 years, I've had my chance to come in and install my system, bring in my players, and whatever happens in the Champions League, I'm going to look back and be happy at this, you know. We've won multiple trophies. We've taken this club from a really bad situation in real life at the moment to a secure manager that's winning multiple Premier League titles, incredibly good in English Cups as well, and hopefully we have had European success. We've won a Europa League, but hopefully we can wrap up that UCL with the last time of asking. Well, here's one for the road anyway, because we have won another FA Cup, and that is going to be a staggering 7 times we have won that. So 7 out of 10 seasons is nuts. The Carabao Cup, sadly, we don't win it. It does go into the hands of Manchester City, and that is a trophy we can proudly say we have won twice. Honestly surprised we didn't win it more. The Community Shield's always been a horrible one for me this rebuild, because we've won it, I believe, once. But, you know, we're obviously in it a lot of times. But out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 7 finals, we have won it. Actually, it's more than 7, isn't it? It's more than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where did I get 7 from? Out of 9 finals, we have won it once. That's bizarre. And the Champions League, we don't win. Not everything's perfect on this channel. I wouldn't want to be a sort of page where it's all magical at the end and you know exactly what's going to happen. We don't win the Champions League, and it is heartbreak. It really is. We lose 4-0 in the semi-final. Now, it's the only thing we haven't really won, to be honest with you, because if we look at the match day, we'll quickly go and look at the fixtures. I believe it was maybe in one of the opening, not the first season. Let me go back some seasons here. So this was the first season we played. Europa League, I'm not talking about that. The Champions League, we got to the semi-finals of the UCL right here in 2027. I believe we got to a final against PSG. This final here, which we lost 2-0. We had our chances, and I'm going to end the journey there. Football isn't all about magic and success. Sometimes you fall short. I don't think we've fallen short in terms of a rebuild, because we have won the Premier League 3 times, countless trophies. We've also got a brand new stadium. We've improved the club massively. Forget the football itself. The facilities, immaculate, excellent. Everything has improved. The finances have improved. You've got a great team. You've got a really strong budget. 125 million. 0 debt to pay off. You've got a team that is capable of winning the Champions League. And honestly, I would get yourself over to the Patreon, download the tactic and also the save file, and go and have some fun, because this team genuinely is a bag full of fun. There's lots of players I can talk about. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. Where does he go? At the moment, he is wanted by Bayern Munich. I wouldn't sell him. I'll try and get him involved more. Now, does he look like he's going to be as good as his dad? No. But he could be a fun player to use purely for the name. As for the attack, I don't even know what words I'll describe. I mean, electric, amazing. You look at the best 11 on paper as well. The attack is still got a few years in it, I will say. The back line, we've done a great job. Right back 24, left back 26, small 25. You know, we have got a lot of sort of, not young, but middle-aged players, so you've not really got to panic. Now, in terms of the under-21s, there isn't anyone in there because I have been making the effort to either sell them or loan them out. The under-18s, you have got a few players, some that are looking quite good in terms of potential, so keep an eye on them as well. Either get them into the team, loan them out like I have been doing, to then either use or sell. And yeah, that is going to be Nottingham Forest rebuilt over an entire decade. I'm going to rate this rebuild an 8.5 out of 10. I think the team is amazing. I think the fact we've improved the club is amazing. The finances are improved. We've won several trophies. The UCL we just come up short in. But that is sometimes what it's like in football. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.